Have you ever made dua again and again, waited patiently, and wondered why nothing seems to be changing? Yet something inside you feels strangely different. The problem is still there. The answer has not arrived. Life looks the same on the outside, but your heart is no longer shaking the way it once did. You don't panic the same way. You don't beg the same way. You don't fear the future the same way. That shift did not come from time. It did not come from distraction. And it did not come from giving up. It came from Allah. When Allah does not answer loudly, He answers quietly. So quietly that most people think nothing is happening. They look for signs in their situation. Allah places the first sign inside their heart. Before He changes what you are asking for, He changes how your heart carries the weight. Before He opens the door, He teaches you how to walk through it without fear. If your dua feels calmer now, if your grip on outcomes feels lighter, if your heart feels steadier even without answers, then understand this clearly. Allah has not ignored you. He has already begun responding. This video is not about patience alone. It is about recognizing the answer that has already started. Listen carefully and gently, because once you see these signs, you will realize your dua is not delayed. It is unfolding exactly the way Allah knows is best for you. Allah removes panic before He removes the problem. Sometimes the first thing Allah changes is not your situation. It is your breathing. Before, your chest felt tight all the time. Your thoughts would rush ahead of you. At night, your mind refused to rest, replaying the same fears again and again. You would wake up already tired, already worried, already preparing yourself for pain. Then, quietly, something shifts. The problem is still there. The answer has not arrived yet. Nothing on the outside looks solved, but inside you, the panic softens. You still think about the problem, but it no longer controls you. You still feel concern, but it does not suffocate you. Your heart begins to slow down, even when your life has not. This is not you becoming careless. This is not you losing hope. This is not you getting used to pain. This is Allah gently holding your heart so it does not break. Allah knows something about you that you may not realize yet. He knows that if He gave you the answer, while your heart was full of fear, you would live in constant worry after receiving it. You would be scared of losing it. You would keep checking, overthinking, protecting, and stressing. So before Allah gives the blessing, He gives you safety inside. He removes the shaking before He removes the storm. This is why the fear leaves first. Not because the problem is unimportant, but because your heart matters more. When Allah places calm inside you, it is not emptiness. It is not silence. It is reassurance. It is a quiet message placed deep within you that says, you are not alone in this. You are not forgotten. You do not need to destroy yourself to be heard. You begin to trust without fully understanding why. You begin to feel okay, even without answers. You begin to breathe without forcing yourself to. This calm is not accidental. It does not come from distraction. It does not come from time passing. It comes only when Allah takes control of the situation Himself. And when Allah takes control, He does not rush the order. First, He protects your heart from panic. Then, He prepares your soul to receive. Then, when the time is right, He changes what you have been crying about, because a heart that is calm can recognize a blessing when it arrives. A heart that is calm can hold happiness without fear. A heart that is calm will not lose Allah after receiving what it asked for. So if you notice that your fear has become quieter, even though your situation has not changed yet, do not ignore this sign. This is not the end of your dua. This is the beginning of its answer. Allah is not delaying you. He is protecting you. And when the change comes, it will not overwhelm you. It will feel gentle. It will feel safe. It will feel exactly the way it was meant to feel. Because Allah calmed your heart first, your dua loses desperation and gains trust. Something else begins to change quietly, and many people do not notice it at first. The words of your dua stay the same, but the feeling inside them changes. Before, when you raised your hands, your heart felt heavy with fear. You were not only asking Allah, you were almost pleading, worried that if the answer did not come soon, everything would fall apart. Your dua carried urgency, pressure, and a deep sense of panic, as if the future depended entirely on that moment. Then, slowly, this desperation starts to fade. You still ask Allah with sincerity. You still care deeply about the outcome, but your heart is no longer shaking while you make dua. There is less fear in your voice and more calm in your chest. You are no longer forcing your words or repeating them out of anxiety. The dua becomes steady, quiet, and honest. This change does not mean your need became smaller. It means your trust became stronger. When Allah begins to accept a dua, He often removes desperation from it first. Desperation makes the heart feel like it is alone, like everything depends on effort and timing. Trust makes the heart feel supported, even before anything changes. You start to make dua believing that Allah hears you every time, not just when you are emotional. You begin to feel that even if the answer is delayed, you are still being taken care of. You stop feeling like you have to beg Allah to notice you, because deep inside you know that He already sees you and understands you better than you understand yourself. This is why your dua becomes calmer. You ask with hope instead of fear. You speak to Allah with confidence instead of panic. Your heart rests while your hands are raised, and even after you finish making dua, you feel lighter, not more anxious. That peace does not come from getting what you want. It comes from trusting who you are asking. This stage is important because Allah does not want His servant to break emotionally while waiting. He wants your heart to stay connected to Him, not exhausted from fear. When your dua reaches this point, it means Allah has already taken responsibility for the outcome. He has lifted the burden of control from your heart and placed it where it belongs, in His hands. So, if you notice that your dua no longer feels desperate, do not think you have lost passion or hope. You have gained something far greater. You have reached a place where your heart trusts Allah enough to breathe, even without seeing the answer yet. Allah loosens your grip on one specific outcome. Another quiet change begins to happen within you, and it is one of the most misunderstood signs. At first, your heart was fixed on one exact outcome. You imagined the answer in a very specific form. You pictured how it should happen, when it should happen, and what it should look like. In your mind, relief had only one shape, and anything outside of that felt like loss. Over time, Allah gently loosens this grip. You still want goodness in your life, but you no longer feel trapped by one single version of it. The tight attachment that once lived in your chest slowly relaxes. You stop forcing the future to follow your imagination. You begin to understand, even if only a little, that Allah sees paths you cannot see. This does not mean you stop caring. It does not mean your dua becomes weaker. It means your heart becomes wiser. Allah knows that when a person holds too tightly to one outcome, they can miss the mercy that arrives in a different form. Many people unknowingly reject Allah's answer because it does not arrive wearing the face they expected. When Allah loosens your grip, He is protecting you from disappointment that comes from limited vision. Your heart becomes open instead of rigid. You begin to say, sincerely, that you want what is good for you, even if it surprises you. This openness allows Allah's wisdom to move freely in your life without resistance from fear or control. You may notice that you no longer replay one scenario again and again in your mind. You stop mentally forcing people, timelines, or situations to align exactly how you planned. There is a quiet acceptance growing inside you, not of loss, but of trust. You begin to feel that whatever Allah chooses will be better than anything you could have designed yourself. This stage is deeply important because Allah does not deliver blessings to hearts that are closed by expectation. He delivers them to hearts that are open to His wisdom. When your grip loosens, your heart becomes light enough to receive what is written for you without fighting it. If you feel this shift happening, understand that it is not distance from your dua. It is closeness to Allah's plan. Your heart is learning to trust not just the answer, but the one who chooses it. You are protected from acting emotionally. At some point, you begin to notice that you are not reacting the way you used to. Situations that once would have pulled a quick response from you now meet a pause instead. Words that once rushed out of your mouth stay inside. Actions that once felt urgent no longer feel necessary. There is a quiet space between what happens and how you respond. This change is not weakness, and it is not confusion. It is protection. Allah places restraint in your heart when acting on emotion would harm you more than help you. He knows that emotional reactions often come from fear, attachment, or pain, and those reactions can close doors that were about to open. You may feel an urge to explain yourself, to chase clarity, or to force an answer, but something inside you holds you back. You stop sending that message. You stop demanding immediate reassurance. You stop making decisions while your heart is unsettled. This is not because you no longer care. It is because Allah is guiding you to wait until your heart is steady. When Allah is preparing an answer, He often slows your movements. He protects you from saying something that would need to be taken back later. He protects you from making choices that feel right in the moment but create regret afterward. In this stillness, Allah is teaching you that not every feeling needs action and not every emotion needs expression. You may even surprise yourself with your own calm. Situations that once controlled your behavior now pass without pulling you apart. You respond with patience where there used to be urgency. You choose silence where there used to be pressure. This is not emptiness. This is maturity placed into your heart by Allah. Allah knows that timing matters. Acting too early can ruin what is meant to arrive peacefully. So He slows you down, not to delay your happiness, but to protect it. When you are held back from emotional reactions, it is often because Allah is arranging something that requires your composure, not your panic. If you find yourself no longer chasing, forcing, or reacting the way you once did, recognize this as mercy. Allah is guarding you from yourself until the right moment arrives. Old comforts stop comforting you. There comes a time when the things that once helped you escape your pain no longer work. The distractions you used to run toward begin to feel empty. The noise that once kept your mind busy starts to feel heavy instead of comforting. Even moments of pleasure lose their sweetness, as if something inside you knows they cannot carry what your heart is holding anymore. This change can feel confusing at first. You may wonder why nothing seems to help the way it used to. You try the same habits, the same routines, the same ways of coping, but the relief does not last. What once gave you a break now leaves you feeling more tired than before. This is not because you are broken. It is because Allah is gently removing false support from your life. Allah knows that some comforts only distract, not heal. They quiet the pain for a moment, but they do not fix the weight underneath it. When Allah is preparing you for something deeper, He slowly disconnects your heart from what cannot truly help you. He does not do this to punish you, but to protect you from relying on what cannot hold you. As these old comforts fade, you may feel exposed, as if you have nowhere to run. This feeling is difficult, but it is also honest. It brings you face to face with what you are carrying inside. In this space, Allah invites you to turn toward Him, not as a last option, but as the only one who can truly give rest to your heart. When false comfort leaves, real comfort becomes possible. You begin to notice that silence feels different now. Prayer feels heavier in meaning. Moments of remembrance touch you more deeply than before. What used to feel small now feels necessary. This is the heart being redirected, not abandoned. If you are going through a time where nothing worldly seems to comfort you, understand that Allah is not taking something away without giving you something better. He is making room inside you for a comfort that does not fade, a peace that does not depend on distraction, and a strength that remains even when life feels heavy. This stage is uncomfortable, but it is also sacred. It means Allah is preparing your heart to rest in the right place, where it will no longer need to escape, because it will finally feel held. You accept, not yet, without resentment. There is a time when waiting feels sharp and painful, when every delay feels personal and heavy. Earlier, when things did not happen the way you hoped, your heart filled with questions. You wondered why it was taking so long and whether your dua was being ignored. The delay felt unfair, and sometimes it quietly turned into anger or disappointment that you did not know how to express. Then, slowly, something changes. The situation is still unresolved, and the answer still has not arrived, but the bitterness begins to leave your heart. You no longer feel resentment toward the waiting itself. The pain is still there, but it is calmer. You feel sadness without rebellion, and patience without forcing yourself to pretend everything is fine. This acceptance does not come from giving up. It comes from understanding that delay is not rejection. When Allah places peace in your heart during waiting, He is teaching you that timing is part of the mercy, not a mistake. You begin to trust that what is being held back is being held back for your good, even if you cannot yet see how. You stop comparing your timeline to others. You stop asking why someone else received their answer sooner. You stop feeling punished by time. Instead, you begin to feel guided by it. There is a quiet strength that grows inside you, one that allows you to carry the weight without breaking under it. When resentment leaves your heart, your connection with Allah becomes lighter. You speak to Him without frustration. You wait without suspicion. You continue your life without feeling stuck. This emotional maturity is not something you taught yourself. It is something Allah places inside you when your heart is ready to trust Him more deeply. If you find yourself able to accept "not yet" without anger or bitterness, recognize this as a powerful sign. It means Allah has already reassured your heart, even without giving you the answer yet. And when the time comes, what arrives will feel worth the wait, not because it came quickly, but because your heart was prepared to receive it peacefully. Allah tests you with stillness, not pain. Not every test comes with pain or loss. Some tests arrive without noise, without drama, and without clear signs. Life simply slows down. Nothing improves, but nothing collapses either. Days pass quietly, and you are left in a space where there is no excitement, no disaster, and no clear direction. This stillness can feel confusing because it does not look like a test, yet it requires great strength. In this quiet phase, there is nothing pushing you forward and nothing forcing you back. You are simply asked to remain steady. There are no emotional highs to motivate you and no emotional lows to wake you up. This is where many people become restless, because the heart wants movement, even if that movement is painful. Stillness removes distraction and leaves you alone with your trust in Allah. During this time, Allah is not ignoring you. He is observing your patience when nothing is happening. He is teaching your heart to remain connected without needing constant signs or emotional reinforcement. Faith in stillness is deeper than faith in crisis, because it does not depend on fear or urgency. It depends on quiet certainty. You may feel tempted to create movement just to feel alive again. You may think about forcing decisions or reopening doors that Allah has already closed. But the stillness is not emptiness. It is balance. Allah is keeping you in place so that nothing is rushed and nothing is ruined by impatience. Those who remain calm in this stage develop a strength that does not shake easily later. They learn to trust Allah without needing constant emotional proof. When the answer finally arrives, it does not overwhelm them, because their hearts have already learned how to stand firm in silence. If you are in a season where nothing seems to be happening, do not underestimate it. This quiet pause is shaping you more than loud trials ever could. Allah is teaching you how to wait without breaking and how to trust without seeing. Your heart becomes ready for any decision Allah makes. There comes a moment when something settles inside you. The struggle to control the outcome slowly fades, and your heart reaches a place of honesty with Allah. You realize that you no longer need a specific result to feel safe. What you truly want is what will be good for you, even if it arrives in a form you did not expect. Earlier, the idea of losing what you hoped for felt unbearable. You feared disappointment and worried that a different answer would break you. But now, your heart feels stronger and calmer. You begin to understand that Allah's wisdom is greater than your plans, and that whatever He chooses will carry care, even if it challenges you at first. You reach a point where you can speak to Allah without conditions. You ask for goodness without fear. You trust His decision without demanding explanations. This level of surrender does not come from weakness or exhaustion. It comes from growth. Allah has been shaping your heart slowly, so it can accept any direction without falling apart. In this place, your peace no longer depends on getting what you want. It depends on knowing who is choosing for you. You stop measuring your worth by outcomes and start resting in trust. Even uncertainty feels lighter because you are no longer carrying it alone. When the heart reaches this readiness, it is a sign that the dua has already been accepted in a deeper way. Allah does not give life-changing answers to hearts that are fragile with fear. He gives them to hearts that can hold them with humility and gratitude. If you feel this quiet acceptance inside you, do not rush the ending. This calm readiness means you are aligned with Allah's wisdom, and whatever decision He makes next will arrive gently, without regret, because your heart is now prepared to receive it. If Allah has been quiet, do not think He has turned away from you. Silence does not mean absence. Sometimes it means care that is too gentle to be loud. Allah sees the effort you made, the tears you hid, and the patience you carried when no one noticed. None of it was wasted. Every calm that entered your heart, every fear that softened, every moment you did not break, even though you could have, was part of the response. Allah was working on you long before you saw anything change around you. What is meant for you is not lost, and what passed you was never yours to carry. Continue to trust, even if you do not understand yet. Continue to turn back to Allah, even when the path feels quiet. The one who placed peace in your heart will place the answer in your life at the right time. And when it arrives, it will not arrive with chaos or regret. It will arrive gently, fitting your life the way it was always meant to. Until then, rest your heart. Allah is with you, closer than you realize, guiding every step with wisdom and mercy.